Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Melissa Lewis, Realtor, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and the surrounding areas. Today we're going to wrap up with video 4 of the interview. So let's sit back and see how it unfolds.
Yeah. All right. So here we are now, 2024,
Yeah.
and
And now I have my real estate license.
yeah. So tell me, how long have you been in real estate?
So
And how did you get introduced from cars to real estate?
Well, my husband, and I'm sure that he would love for me to keep thanking him every day, but he suggested that I get my real estate license. And I thought, that's a good idea. So September 11th, which I don't know why they would have anything on that day, I took the test, the real estate test, and got my license. And it honestly, it
on
was
9/11. Excuse
yes,
me.
God bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was the hardest test I ever took in my life. In my life.
So prior to that, you had to go to real estate school
Yes.
or take classes.
I had to do the real estate classes, yes, and I did that here in Palm Beach Gardens. So
Brick and mortar school or online?
brick and mortar. No,
Yeah.
I'm not an online person. I don't like it. I'm very old school. I like the experience of someone raising their hand and saying, "Hey, I've got a question," and they'll throw that experience or their scenario out there, and then I'm able to learn from it.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know what it's like online, but I
Actually
think
carrying the book to class and
Yeah.
having an instructor.
Yeah.
You can ask questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same,
Yeah.
Me too.
So that was awesome. And then so I found out I was pregnant, and we planned it. So we talked in December 2020 about getting pregnant, and I said, okay, we're not married yet, but I'm not getting any younger, and so let's go ahead and do it now before time runs out for me, because I'm an older mom. And I don't know, I just I thought, why not? Right? So December we started trying, and in January we were not successful, and in February we were, but I didn't find out until maybe March. Yeah. So COVID was an issue right at the very beginning onset of pregnancy, and I had her in November 2020. And so the only real estate deals I did between then, from getting the license in September and now, was I had a friend that we did a renovation to her house in Loxahatchee. Sold that for $25,000 over asking, and then we did a bunch of little deals. And then my latest one was December of this past year of 2023, where he built a home, and Christopher Bumstead for Mr. Olympia.
Classic physique. Wow.
Mr. Olympia.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He was a bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder.
Bought it?
So Christopher Bumstead, he's a Canadian. He's a 5-time gold medal winner for Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Classic physique. He purchased the home. And so I got to be on the other side of that transaction as representing the seller. And we've had lots of little land deals and house deals in between. Right now I'm helping my cousin with my uncle's condo in Boca Raton, where my husband is doing the renovation, and I think that's the last deal that we have together.
That's current.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
Okay,
So now I'm on my own, and now I'm on. This is my hustle now. My hustle is to build this YouTube channel so that I can start selling homes, so that I could stay a stay-at-home mom until Katie's in kindergarten. And so I'm building the platform now, because she's going to be in kindergarten in 2 years.
So you're a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And so this is a perfect profession for you to be able to do real estate.
Yeah. It would be, and I think YouTube is the perfect platform to build, a platform for real estate, so that I can try to, get some of my clientele through.
Yeah. There's just so much traffic on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have a commanding voice. It's like,
sometimes it's too much, right?
I've seen, yeah, your voice just blew over that book. I've seen Melissa make some videos with her daughter, interviewing her daughter, and it's just, it's mesmerizing, and so it's like, as a mother myself, I always wanted someone to do read alouds on YouTube, so I could just plug it in and then have them read to your child. But anyway,
To
so
David.
yeah, so I think it's a perfect venue for you for your gifts. You know, so what do you think your strengths and weaknesses are? Your gifts,
Well,
because I think that's
know.
one of your gifts is your voice. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, I'm hearing that a lot more than I ever had. You know, now since you guys have mentioned it in the group, like, oh, you're a good teacher and this, that, and the other, I actually started connecting the dots. Like, I really believe didn't see it before. You ever heard of blind spots when you're driving in a car? You're like, oh, there's a blind spot there. You got to look to see if the car.
Always on the 95.
Okay, all right. So this is one of my blind spots. Like, I didn't realize that was or could be a calling for me, was teaching. But now that I look back, I hear you and a lot of other people say it, that I'm a good teacher, and then I'm like, you're not the only person that said that to me. Even when I was a technical support team leader, I was teaching them, and they were saying that I made a good teacher, and then I didn't really think anything of it. But then I look back and I was making manuals for all these things,
Yes.
and learning, and so yeah, that's probably a strong suit that I just didn't know about. Does that make sense? Like a blind
Yeah.
spot, right? So, but I do know that I have like this gift of discernment. Like I can meet somebody and immediately know they're bad or they're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about so that gift of discernment? I mean,
What do
I
you
met-
do with that though?
I've met
I
you
mean, well,
through
I
our
mean,
mom's group.
I stay
and-
out of trouble. I can, basically know which friends to pick and which ones to like say, oh no, no, thank you.
Well, I know you're a woman of faith. So,
Yeah,
we talked about your family, we talked about your education, we talked about your work experience, and we talked about your gifting. So it's like, I think because of all those things that you talked about with working and being a manager and writing manuals and training people, that has definitely sharpened your gift, I think, of teaching. Because I think there is a gift of teaching. I'm being a retired teacher. I definitely didn't have that gift. I just did it because everyone told me to be a teacher. But I really believe people have that gifting.
I really respect that you are a retired teacher too.
Yeah, and it was very hard for me. I was not,
I can imagine.
planning and teach and having the patience, and I feel like that's a gift you have as well, is discernment and patience. You have that in you to be able to teach and to actually empathize with whoever you're dealing with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that this will help grow my YouTube channel, and so the viewers can know a little bit more about me and my background, what I'm all about, and what I'm dedicated to. I'm dedicated to my clients.
Yeah.
I'm not working for the HOAs. I'm working for my clients. So
Yeah, and
I'm going to be out here kicking butt, and I've got a bike rack that I bought 2 days ago, and I plan to, go to neighborhoods around here that are, up and coming neighborhoods, and if they've got some staged homes, I'm going to, get into the neighborhoods if I'm, allowed to, and, get on my bike with my daughter and get some video of the neighborhood, some footage of the neighborhood, and then go into some of the houses and see the houses. So that people that are living, in the Northeast or the West Coast or wherever they're at, they could save themselves the plane ticket of flying down. They could check out the community a little bit, and then they can kind of plan their trip around that. So that's my hope.
Wow, that's a great. Actually, that's a really great vision. Because I was with her when she got her bike rack. I'm like, why are you getting a bike rack? And Melissa, I know it's just her tendency to work hard and work hard for a client who is not local. Melissa's very local, and she would go out there and videotape neighborhoods you'd be interested in, so that you don't have to come out on a plane ticket and you would see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I know you would work hard for your clients.
I will.
And Melissa is the type of person, it's about relationships. She is not just this, oh, how are you? I'm fine person. She really gets to know you. Mm-hmm. She wants to get to know you. She establishes great friendships. And it's not just on her level, with her daughter, every level. So I just appreciate that about that.
Thank you.
About that with you. So let's see. As we are Oh. Moving along our get to know Melissa session. I just want a last question.
I didn't tell you about all my hobbies.
You know what? You didn't. You didn't. You went from scuba diving to what happened?
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead, talk about your hobbies. 'Cause
So-
I hope biking is one of them.
Well, no, it's not.
Oh.
So I got my advanced underwater certification for diving. I went out and got a motorcycle license several years ago because I wanted to ride. So
Students
that's
of
so
hazard.
cool. That's so cool.
Wow.
So I've been on
You
motorcycles.
ride motorcycles?
I can ride a motorcycle. And
have
when I quit smoking and drinking, I learned I learned ballroom dancing. I spent
Wow.
I spent 2 years getting
get out.
private lessons and
What?
group lessons, the cha-cha, the tango, the waltz, the
Do you have
foxtrot,
any videos of that?
the bolero, the merengue,
Wow, salsa.
salsa.
Waltz?
One of my personal favorites is the hustle. I love the hustle.
Hustle,
I
wow.
love 70s music.
Oh my
I love
goodness.
disco.
Do you samba?
I can.
Disco?
I can, but when I go dancing though, I don't dance with just anybody. I do pay extra
You need a dance
to get
instructor.
the instructor because I haven't been in so long, Kelly, that I don't want to get led improperly. So I pay for someone to lead me properly that do the
Absolutely.
dance steps so that way
Yes.
I can continue learning.
Yes, yes.
I don't want to fall backwards. I want to go
You
forward.
want someone to lead you and knows the steps. I understand that. My cousin's she does that. And
It sounds like
yeah, and she
family. I want someone to lead me the steps.
yeah.
Family, someone to lead that knows the steps.
Yeah.
right?
Well, I always say the best for men and women relationship is always on the ballroom.
Yes.
Because the men are leading and the women are following. It's
Well,
wonderful.
If you ever
It's
have
a wonderful
time,
dance.
if you ever have time, come with me to the dance studio. You can just sit and observe.
Yeah.
And there's some couples there, husbands and wife couples that have been doing it for 20 years. They got it as like a gift from the mother-in-law or the father-in-law, and they've been doing it ever since. And they are, I want to say they're in their 60s, and well, who knows now if they're, maybe they're a little closer to, early 70s, but phenomenal. I mean, like lifting up and dipping, and
Oh yeah.
it's amazing.
It's fun. So that's good. So where do you go? Right here?
It's called Dance All Night
Oh,
here
nice.
in
So how often
West
do
Palm
you go
Beach.
once a week?
I don't go at all anymore since for the last 5 years. But
Do you have dance shoes?
girl, I usually keep them in my car.
This is how do I not know any of this
I
about
usually
Melissa?
keep them in my car.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, you are so full of surprises, aren't you? Motorcycle with dance shoes. That would be. Do you motorcycle to your dancing? Wow, in a dress. I it's almost like
Yes.
officer and a gentleman. Woo.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
did your husband ballroom dance?
Well, he tried.
Oh, that's good.
He
At least
tried.
you tried.
He was in his basketball shorts and
Oh.
dance shoes. Yeah, it was quite embarrassing. It was quite embarrassing.
There's one thing on The Bachelor where he ended up, they did a dance and he was in shorts and they had to put on those heels and he said, I look ridiculous.
I wish Mike
But-
would have said that about himself, but he actually thought he looked good. So
But at least, I mean, he didn't have to wear those shoes with the heels. But anyway,
yeah.
so what is your favorite? So which one of, do you watch Dancing with the Stars? That's my guilty pleasure.
Oh yes, yes. If,
Oh my gosh,
If I get to watch TV at all, which I haven't watched
only
TV
thing
in
I
over
used
5
to
years.
watch.
I think it's been like
Wow.
I do get to watch like a lot of cartoons.
Yeah. Well, you're in that season. That's okay.
Season, yes.
You'll appreciate it when it's gone. But so what is
I
your
will,
favorite
you're
dance?
right, yeah.
What is your favorite dance?
Well, I do a lot of the cha-cha. My favorite is the waltz, the foxtrot, the tango, and the hustle. I love those.
Oh, that's interesting.
The salsa. I like them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like them
good.
all. But the waltz is one of my favorites.
What's
and
the hardest?
hustle
What's
is
the
one
hardest dance to learn?
of probably the tango or the
Viennese
waltz?
waltz?
The Viennese waltz.
So graceful.
That's a waltz, but on a faster scale. And then there's one other one that is new. It's not the East Coast swing; it's the West Coast swing.
Oh.
And the West Coast swing,
Little bit of
I don't know. For
country.
some reason, I find it difficult to do this. What's called the anchor step. So.
Oh, Oh.
Yeah.
Anchor step. Wow. Maybe we'll get Melissa dancing in one of our YouTube videos.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
I would like to be back in my heels.
Reel.
I'd like to be back on the dance floor. Like when I was growing up poor, my parents didn't have the resources to do this for any of us kids. They didn't. And I always felt like I grew up in the wrong neighborhood and the wrong, I hate to say it, I feel like I grew up in the wrong, well, I'm not going to say it. But I felt like everything was wrong. And I wanted to,
not the ideal neighborhood.
it wasn't, no, it was just, it was the wrong. It was just, it was the worst. It was the worst. So, I mean, there was a lot of drugs. There was a lot of death. There was a lot of guns and violence. And there was a, I won't go into that. I won't go into detail. But I will say that I wanted to, growing up, be in gymnastics. I wanted to learn piano. I wanted to do a lot more that I wasn't allowed to do because we just didn't have the resources.
Well, I mean, even if you did, you know, I feel like at our age when we get older, I mean, isn't it exciting that you can do whatever you want that you didn't get to do?
Yeah.
I mean, mine was just going to Disneyland and getting the chocolate dipped banana.
Well, just in January, that's awesome. I love it. I've had one of those. Just in January, I did teach myself a Lauren Daigle song on the piano.
Oh, wow.
I did a YouTube and...
So you love music, so that's good.
I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought about doing that with Katie. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I guess what I'll just leave with is, what's the legacy you want to leave for Katie? How do you want to be remembered? Wow. And what kind of legacy do you want to leave?
Good question.
For your family? Because we've heard about your history, and it sounds like, you know, you started here, we're here now, and where do you want to
Well, I want to lead by example. I want to be, be a philanthropist. I would like to maybe, do something of that nature if I ever get the opportunity to get to that point in my life.
So to give back.
I want Katie to know who God is. I want her to know me as being the person that brought her that relationship. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think, in communication, just how to communicate properly through, through anything is so important.
Oh, yeah.
So
wonderful.
I don't know if those are admirable, legacies, but that's basically what I'd like to.
So you talked about your vision board.
Yeah.
And family.
Yeah.
So that sounds like, to me, that sounds like you thought about those things.
I have.
And what's important. And so that sounds like a vision.
Yeah. One of my biggest speakers that I admire, he's passed away, but is that I just absolutely love and adore is Jim Rohn. I think that Jim Rohn, when I listen to him on audio, it's almost like listening to my grandfather.
What's his name?
Jim Rohn.
Rohn, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jim Rohn inspired me.
Well, I also wanted to ask, who are your mentors?
Jim Rohn would be one of them. He's, not alive, obviously, but definitely one of my author mentors and podcast mentors. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, yeah. Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
So I have her in my phone. I put her name in there and her picture in there. Because one day, you never know, you just got to call it to the universe, like, hey, So I have her saved in my phone.
That's amazing.
As well as Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have him in my phone and a picture of him. I don't have any phone numbers attached to it. Don't laugh at me, but,
She told me to put John Bon Jovi in my phone just because I...
How about John Travolta?
Jesus?
You might meet John Bon Jovi. I have a good friend of mine. She's in California, and maybe one day. So yeah, so it's kind of.
I told her my mechanic looked like John
Bon
Jovi.
One of these days, I'm going to connect with all these people, and I will have their phone number in my phone. I'm just saying.
That's called. That's calling it out.
We have to have high hopes, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what do we have?
So what are the 3 characteristics that you admire in people?
Okay. Honesty. Transparency. Be honest. Be transparent. Don't fake who you are. Don't pretend that you love somebody to get your needs met. You know, that's important. Or, you know, talk them into doing something, you know, getting a license for you so that you can run your business. I mean, really love somebody to love somebody. Be transparent, be honest. Those are two really important.
Sincere.
Yes, yes, those are two important ones
No
for me.
hidden agenda.
But I think joy and laughter are important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see all those qualities in you, Melissa.
Oh, thanks.
Well, thank you for your time and
You're welcome.
getting
Thank
to
you.
know you
Thank you,
a little
Kelly.
more. Oh, you're welcome. It was my pleasure. Just
I
really getting to
appreciate
know you. It's goes by fast.
Oh, good. I hope
And
that.
I still feel like there's still some nuggets in there that I want to dig out. But
Well, I'm hoping that the audience enjoyed it and that you get to know a little bit more about me. And if you like the video, please hit the like button here and subscribe so that I can, you know, make some videos for you and, you know, go through some neighborhoods for you. So I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.